Old me was the queen of waiting, waiting for friends, waiting for the right timing, the right thing to do, until it feels normal. And in other words, I would just say I procrastinated so hard and I put my own life on hold. And solo traveling did one thing to me that I did not expect. I stopped waiting. So here are 5 things I do now that my old me never did. So starting off really basic and obvious, like now I'm going alone. And before I started solo traveling, I always needed someone with me. Cinema alone? Restaurant alone? An event alone? I was like, nope, awkward. And that's what I said before my travels. So I always needed someone just to have like a company and to feel more confident or just like not the weirdo who doesn't have friends or anything. But now I have to say, of course, it's always more fun if friends join. But if no one wants to come, I generally do not care anymore. I will go by myself. I'm confident enough. I feel good with myself. And the funny part about that is when you're actually going alone somewhere, you will meet people along the way. And for example, here in Japan, I felt like, hey, I want to go to a techno festival. And to be fair, I don't know a lot of people here who like techno. So I just went and it was great fun. And I met incredible people and I had a great time. So easy. And what I'm just saying, don't let other people decide what you do with your life just because they don't want to come with you or they don't feel like they want to go to an event. And I literally always say it's better to go alone than not going at all. And this goes also very well with the next one that, like, the next part that changed me. So I start talking to strangers. And believe it or not, I'm still shy sometimes. And I'm like, solo traveling did not suddenly change me into the social superhero who can talk super freely and easily, especially not in big groups. There I just tend to be more quiet. But now I initiate more small talk, like the things where you're one on one with another person or a small group, because I realized that this makes me actually happy. So I can be alone for the whole day and be totally fine. But then if I just have one random encounter and we're talking about like unnecessary things like the weather, and I'm talking to a stranger obviously, my mood is instantly better. Old me would have waited to be talked to. New me talks first. The next thing that changed so much is really something I encourage everyone to work on if you are not able to do it, and that's just setting boundaries. Before I started solo traveling, I was a typical people pleaser. I tried to make it right for everyone except for myself, and I just wanted to be liked. I wanted to be in a big group and having a good time. And sometimes I just forget to set boundaries also for myself. But now it changed. My travel mode now is different. So I don't mind when people join me on my journey, but I set boundaries from the beginning very clearly. So if you really want to discover a country, you need to live like the locals. And that's what I'm always saying, and I think it's the truth. And so you go to homestays and you go to hostels, you actually experience the place. And this is my boundary. So if someone only wants to be in comfortable hotels and having the pool and all of this stuff, that's totally fine. But sorry, this will not work for me. And then I just say no. Just one thing. If you compromise on the wrong things, both parties will end up unhappy. So I learned that the basics have to match. And if I don't like something, I finally learned how to say no. It's so stupid because it's just two letters like N and O, but saying it out loud used to be a real challenge for me because, as I said, I was a people pleaser. And now I'm like, yeah, this is not gonna work. Anyways, moving on to the next thing is actually the opposite of saying no, saying more yes. And no joke, like solo traveling made me brave. Or stupid, it's up to you. So I used to stay at home back in Germany in my safe little comfort zone, and I never really did anything crazy, I'd say. And then I kind of had the realization, like, what's the point? We all gonna die anyways, so I want to have great memories, like something special to talk about. And so I started to say yes to more things while I was traveling solo. And honestly, I never imagined doing things like a skydive on Friday the 13th, but I did it. Did I imagine I'm gonna do a bungee jump? No, not really. Or going alone into the jungle. Yeah, it's also a no, but I did it. I said yes to it. And honestly, I would do it again. And maybe the jungle part not so much without a tour guy who has like anti-venom with him. But yeah, I mean, you live and you learn, right? I'm still alive. No snake encounter. Anyways, so when I watched my skydive video, I still remember the feeling, and it was so worth it. So I just encourage everyone to just say yes to more things. Like, be a little bit more irresponsible, try new challenges, and I mean, if it doesn't work out, at least lesson learned. But yeah, I can guarantee you it will change you. And so coming to the last point, and I think this is the most important one, is that I don't give a shit anymore. And like I said, I used to be a people pleaser. I was afraid to be alone, that, I don't know. I don't really know why, actually. So it's kind of ironic that I went solo traveling, right? But I just felt like it. And I'm so glad I did it. Because it made me realize how much is out there. And of course, there will be people who criticize you and your lifestyle. And people will tell you, hey, you should do better or be more normal or have a plan, go to work, blah, blah, blah. So they're basically always telling me live a normal adult life. And now I'm like, okay, you do you. But you don't know what's best for me, so shut the fuck up, and it's my life, and I'm happy even if I don't have a perfect plan for whatever comes next. It's kind of chaotic, but I love my life, and it will not work out for everyone, but honestly, you will always have people who are not really encourage you, or they're just talking shit about you. And I used to care about their opinion. But after I started my solo traveling life and going to different places, I just feel like, you know what? You do you, I do my life, and yeah. So these are the 5 things that my old me never did and now I'm doing. So drop maybe in the comments like your story, what you're now doing, what you haven't done before. And I'm really looking forward to your stories. And thank you for listening, and see you next week.